What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Planet of Doubt channel where we doubt everything. I'm here with the squad. My name is Chris.
CX Drive.
RCL.
And neat.
Cam.
This is your boy John Lewis. Welcome back to another episode of Would You Rather. I believe this is episode number 4. Number 4. We've made it this far. Look at us. Look at us. This is a segment where we will present a couple of scenarios, a couple of questions, a couple of dilemmas, if you will, and we have to give our perspective and basically choose a side. And yeah, man, let's get into it. Jose, you got a couple questions for us?
Yes. Okay, so I got here. Would you rather have a rewind button for your life?
I promise you, I was looking at that same motherfucking question.
Really? Okay.
Go ahead.
So a rewind button for your life or a pause button?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's an easy question to answer.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah. I
Rewind
think so.
all day.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the rewind.
No
for
point in
sure.
hitting a
Yeah.
pause button if you could rewind.
Word.
Yes.
You can
fact.
pause it and still.
If given both options,
something
yeah,
wrong.
just rewind it.
Just redo it. Redo it as many times as you want.
Word.
unless you're
Until
gonna
you
do
get it
something
right.
illegal, like rob a bank or something, then you just
Yeah.
pause everything, take all the money, then leave, then unpause. But
But even
That's
then, just
true.
like you
I'm
can
not
do the
robbing
same
banks.
scenario and just rewind until you get it right.
Until you get it
it
right.
also works.
Yeah.
More work, but
It is more
That's
work.
true.
I'm going with rewind though.
Yeah,
In
facts.
an
I'm
everyday
gonna have
life,
to go rewind.
I think
everyone has a
rewind.
moment where it's like, "Fuck."
I wish
Why'd
I could take
do
it back.
that? Or
Yeah.
why'd I say that? Or like, just like that rewind button will come in too clutch.
But pause.
Imagine
pause
you
button.
DM a female and she reacts horribly. You just rewind and say something else. Like you're just chilling.
Or you can press unsend.
But
There's already a rewind button.
a pause button will work in certain situations too.
Like what?
I'm actually going pause. I can't think of too many times in my life where I wish I could rewind something. Maybe there is, but I'm very observant. So if I could get the chance to pause something and like really observe everything and be like, okay, that person's gonna go over here, that person's over there, or change shit, I think that's more fun to me than actually rewinding shit. So I'm actually going to go pause. I can see obviously both are gonna could be.
What would you change?
What would you
Like
rewind?
one scenario.
What would you rather?
You're
Chris
walking
always
in the
does this.
street, you break your leg,
if you're
you
gonna
rewind, and you don't break your leg.
because you're one of the only two people. I think Jose chose pause too, but you said you would change something. What would you change? What would be one scenario you can think of?
Well, the question was asked like a minute ago, so there's not something that I have exactly, but you could pause or change anything to no matter what you are experiencing at the moment, whether it be if you're trying to save somebody's life when they're about to get hit by a car, you can pause it, move them out of the scenario. If somebody's about to get shot, move them out the way before they get pull the trigger. And those are just like health reasons or like things I can think of off the top of my head. But-
Emergency reasons, yeah.
right. If I'm playing
Okay.
baseball and then I want the ball to come straight into the strike
That's
zone.
a fucking great reason.
Yo,
why
word. I like
would
that
choose
one.
rewind because if I'm taking a pitch right down the middle, I can just rewind that bitch and I'll be like, "Woo!"
That's what I'm saying. Rewind, aim a little lower next time. Bomb.
Yeah. No, but actually now I'm starting to think, man. if you
Actually,
could
that's another
pause-
thing. Yeah.
But if you could pause, you could get away with a lot of more stuff, and
Yeah.
it would be easier.
And
Like
if
if
you
I'm thinking as
rewind,
like a criminal.
it doesn't mean that it's changing outcomes either.
You can change the outcome though if you rewind.
Depends
it.
how far
Yeah.
back you rewind.
Well, if the pitch is coming on a curveball, how do you not know it's not going to come on a curveball again?
Because you're just
Because
rewinding.
yeah, if
Yeah,
you're just
you're just
rewinding
rewinding
it
Just
like
change your
a couple
scenario.
seconds.
I'm
What
gonna
you
be
can
ready for
change.
the curve.
You're
Yeah.
at bat. You know where to hit now.
But it didn't change the outcome of his action, though.
No, he's still
Yeah.
gonna do
You're
the
saying to
same.
use it to your advantage.
Yeah,
Okay.
to
Yeah.
your advantage. You're gonna know because you rewinded. You know that.
Right.
That passed or whatever.
Well, what else you got, Cam? I saw you like going somewhere with that.
No, I was just thinking like I started to maybe want to change my idea just because like I was thinking you could get away with so much more with a pause, I think, because you are technically now you can be anywhere at any time and no one will ever know. With a rewind, you rewind it, say you're trying to get inside the White House for whatever reason, trying to get some documents.
Like
You
this.
with a rewind, you're gonna have to do hella work to get in there. With a pause button, you just walk
FBI,
right
he
in.
is alone on this. FBI, he is alone.
We're not part of this.
We're not part of this.
A bunch of the reasons that I think a pause button would be useful are like illegal activities.
Yes.
Like if
Yeah,
I order
yeah.
a food,
I just
and I
told
don't
you to
like
save
it,
a
I
life.
just rewind.
Oh yeah. He did.
I just saved 2 lives with my first 2
but those are, like,
examples.
I feel like in a daily use, I think a rewind would be much more helpful than a pause.
Maybe.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
But that's the
I'm
thing, though.
thinking
I don't disagree with you. But like I said, like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I have no regrets. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But there's not really many times where I could think that I wish I could rewind something. Maybe if I had the power, obviously, I'm pretty sure I'll be using the shit out of it. But I just like I would even pause just to do the gym face to somebody. Like if somebody says some stupid shit to me, I'll be like, all right, pause this motherfucker. Like, this man just say the shit.
Hit him with the gym face.
Yeah.
Like even for my own amusement, I'll take the pause.
Yo, but are there any cons to these powers? So like, say for the pause, are you continuing to grow while everybody else is not? And so maybe if you abuse it, you use it so much throughout your life, you're gonna be like 80, and when you're really 40, you're like, what the hell? Like,
yeah,
how did
but
you
then we're
decide-
gonna have to say that for both things
Yeah,
are gonna
so-
change something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I guess the only negative of a rewind button would be you kind of lose a lot of the value of your life just because
'cause you can
nothing really
literally-
means anything anymore.
Yeah, you can know when everything's
You're just
coming.
gonna live
like,
and die, and
Yeah.
you don't have to live with any consequence.
It's got very sad.
And then you kind of,
It's got very sad.
I don't want to say you lose time either, but you kind of stop it from going forward. But pause does the same thing.
Yeah.
You just explained the pause button.
He just explained the pause.
If time is continuous and it's going like this, and then you rewind it, and then you rewind it, you're living in the past plenty of hella times.
Well, depending
There's a
how you
movie
use
about
it,
this. It's called Click. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But
right.
that had both features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really was like,
and
really
it had
fucked up.
consequences when he was
And that's
doing it.
because the remote learned him.
Yeah.
Our remote, we
Yeah.
get
That
the
movie's so
basics.
good.
We got 2
Yeah,
buttons.
that's true. It was a TiVo remote, it like suggesting
Yeah, that shit
things for
was
him
like,
to
oh,
do.
this is where you always want to rewind. We got you.
Yeah.
No.
Final thoughts on the which one would you go? Which one you going with?
I'm
going pause.
Rewind.
Pause.
Rewind.
Pause.
Oh, we got 3v3.
The original name.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one?
Would you rather be a movie star or a musician or a music star? Meaning meaning what I said. you're a star actor or a star
Damn.
musician.
How big?
That's
are
a
we
hard one.
talking?
That's a hard one.
That's
feel like
really hard.
I'm
dog.
talking. If you want me to give you some examples, let's say you're Leo and
Leo level.
Leo level
Okay.
and Kanye level. Let's just hit it right there.
All right,
Oh,
minus
Kanye
all,
West.
minus. Oh
Just
damn!
gave
So minus
John the
all the
Provence.
BS, like minus all the controversy of those 2 people or whatever.
Yeah, it just
their status.
their status of where they're at
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Dang man, that is tough.
Cam, you're thinking about this?
bro.
I think of the
honestly-
first 2 people in this pod that would say music right away would be me
Bro,
and you.
I know, but I also have a deep love for like just.
I ain't never seen you
SB
act out
and
one goddamn time.
No, not act. I mean, not me necessarily. Me act, even though I have done like acting class when I was a kid or whatnot. But like, it was definitely a thing for me. Like, I love movies, I love shows, I love theater.
That's
So,
really
I don't
hard,
know.
man.
That's super
I'm-
hard to me.
Because I'm
feel
trying
like-
to think about it, like where, because obviously you're gonna get rich in either one. So it's like, what will you get more fulfillment out of, dog?
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
comes out of what you feel comfortable performing constantly. Like, do you rather be on a set for 6 to 2 years span, like depending on the movie you're filming, remembering lines, dealing with other actors and shit like that? Do you mind going on tour if you're a musician for 3 to a year and a half? If you're fucking Justin Timberlake, you never stop fucking touring. So like, yeah, I guess those are all things to take into consideration. Like,
Yeah,
it comes with the
and
job.
now when you put it like that, though, honestly, I think I'd rather be an actor. I think I'd rather be on set for the experiences of meeting so many people and having like, imagine being on a Star Wars set. You get to just see like crazy cool shit, like
Yeah.
walking around on set. You don't get that much variety. It's always the same thing when you're a musician. You're going into a booth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
You're
agree
meeting
with
crazy
Cam.
people, but
Well,
Yeah,
you're not gonna
Cam.
compare a movie set to then a studio, my guy. You have to compare it to like a
people you
Yeezus
mean.
tour. No.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Okay,
have to
okay.
create your own world.
Yeah,
you meet Brad Pitt, Leonardo, but then you meet Jay-Z and fucking Chris Brown. Like, it's either one you're gonna meet
Yeah, they both have
top tier.
perks of that.
That's tough, bro. That
I
is
still
really tough.
think the actor. I think the
Alright.
actor. To be honest with you.
I believe I I agree with Cam where he says like, well for me, I will choose actor because everything that you're doing, like after one movie, you're going on to something completely different and challenging yourself, and you're just you just take on a whole new role. Where in music, of course, you can change your style, but you're not going to change your style every single album or every single time. I like the fact of being an actor that you do one storyline, working with different directors, working with different scripts, and just embodying a whole different role. And then, like if I'm in the status of Leo, like he gets just the top directors and the top writers and all that stuff, and he cherry picks from whatever
Yeah,
scripts
but
he wants to do.
Yeah.
but pick your poison though, because that same level of status and of variety and versatility comes with the negative side of it too. You putting your body through weight loss or gain for a role, you having to become depressed,
point, yeah.
play that person, like becoming the Joker, rest in peace, RP Heath Ledger. Like, you get
that's
both
true.
sides of that. And then
So-
the
That's
same
true.
thing for a musician. They,
Yeah.
you don't sleep, you do drugs to stay awake. Like, I'm trying to look at the worst case scenario on both to like come up with a solution.
No, they,
So,
they
like,
definitely have his both. his
Yeah,
things.
so I think I'm gonna go music, and here's why. Like, this is a good one. This is a good question because I was really trying to like look at the scenarios for both, and I was like, damn, like being on set for like Star Wars, like a superhero movie would be really cool. But
Mhm.
like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I would get tired of that before I would get tired of being around music. And
Really?
not only that, but
Wow.
not only that, but I have more heroes in music than I do in movies. You know what I mean? So like the whole thing about being around people, like it'd be cool to be around some people in movies for sure, but like there's nobody in the movie world that would be as big a deal for me as like meeting Jay-Z or meeting Kanye or
And you
Nas
have more
or
control
Cole. Like,
on who you meet and collaborate with
yeah,
in music.
yeah, and that too, man. Like, so for those reasons, I think I'm going music for sure, and I'm bringing New York back. What's up?
I agree.
I
with,
respect that. I respect that.
I agree with the other 2 points, but the first one, I don't know, Manny. Like, you'd get tired of like living in a different world every time. Like again, like Star Wars would be like one movie set, then you go into like Fantastic Beasts, and then you're in the Harry
Yeah,
Potter
but
world.
the thing is, like, it's like that thing, like when you see how the meat is made, like it takes some of the magic away from it. And I've heard that from like a lot of
Okay.
people in the film industry.
Green
And
screen.
Yeah,
shit.
and then like I've seen how like music is made, and that never takes anything away from me. And I'm not saying it'll take something away from the movies, but like I don't like I'll still be able to enjoy the movie just fine. Like it's just as much if I'm not a part of it. Like with music, I feel like I'll enjoy it even more if like I'm actually doing it myself.
Yeah, I see that. It's hard. I personally, I just think I go to the other side, but I definitely understand that for sure. I mean, that makes sense.
I think I'm gonna go with an actor because, like, aside from all the work and all that stuff, I think you live a more reserved life as an actor. I feel like you don't have to interact with as many people. Like, you don't have to do meet and greets and all this stuff.
That's
And
a
me
good
personally,
point.
I'm more of like a little antisocial. I don't want to be out doing stuff like that. And I know if you're a great artist, you're gonna have to do tours, and tours always come with meet and greets and stuff like that. And I don't know if being around like a bunch of people, I mean, aside from like working, like if I was in a studio and I had a bunch of people, that's fine. Or if I'm on a set and I'm just with like camera crew and stuff like that, I think I'll prefer that. And then not have to deal with like fans and stuff like that.
That's the thing, though. For that point that you said, I kind of at first I was gonna agree with you, but then there's a lot of introvert artists as well that we never see till they drop something, and I think you can take the same span that somebody goes on tour that has to be out to the same span of time with somebody who is on set having to work. Because then after that, they could go home and go to the studio, stay there for a year and a half, and then actor could go stay home until another role is presented to him. So they're pretty much out during
I
the
mean-
same time frames.
I think they
I
both
think-
have a piece of that, like, because like with a movie, like if you shoot a movie, you have to like promote the movie. But
Yeah.
I see
I
what
mean,
I see. I was saying though, I don't think it's
not
to
so
the
much.
level of like what like artists have to do when they're like on like promoting shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we live in an era where that era was before streaming though. There's a lot of artists that don't do interviews now. When was the last time you saw Kendrick
Or Drake.
interview?
Drake doesn't do
or Drake? You have to fucking kiss his ass to get one.
Man, that's a good
Like, Wow.
Oh,
Who just- that was it?
Jose.
Sus. I heard.
And the meet and greet, it's basically every artist does have it, but it's really up to you because as an artist to implement that, because they mainly do it because it's great fucking money to add to the tour. You know what I'm saying? But if you really are that antisocial that you just don't want to see people, you don't have to implement it in the
Actors
I
have
don't know.
that too, though. Actors have their fans.
Yeah, but you don't
their-
have to. You don't have to do a meet and greet.
You don't have to, but it can get.
But that's
done.
what I feel like when you're on a tour. How many tours do you know of that have no meet and greets? I feel like for the most part, every single tour has a meet and greet. They can make it stupid expensive, and then not too many people go. But not everyone's always gonna go. Yeah, I don't know. And I think that as a musician, I think you have to do more outside of the album. Like you have to grind for the album, and then you got to put out music videos, and then you got to do the tour. I don't know. I feel like I'd have less work and more enjoyable work for me personally because I like film more. More enjoyable work working on films and with directors and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the life experience at the end of it all, I think the experience for me is more worth it as an actor. I feel like they lived a fuller life, in my opinion, just because they got to explore so many different characters and so many different
That's a
worlds.
good point. An actor can stay an actor longer than an artist can
Yeah.
stay an artist.
The shelf life,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
give you
true.
that.
depending on the musician, because
Yeah, depending on who it is.
they could do
but
stuff
yeah.
on like for other people, still be considered.
I think Asiel made a really great point earlier, saying like as an actor you don't have to be as stressed out like being in the streets, like there's not people bombarding you at every second, where an actor like or a musician like Kanye or like a Billie Eilish or something, like they have to look over their shoulders at every single second, like they're always being flooded, and like that
Yeah,
just
but if
looks
you're
like such an
Leonardo
uncomfortable-
DiCaprio, you're gonna have that same.
Yeah, it depends.
no, but you
Yeah.
see him in the streets
Situation.
all the time, and he's not bombarded or anything like that. There's always pictures of him just chilling out, just walking. And there's a bunch of actors who walk around New York and LA. You just run into them, but there's never like a flash mob. If you go to like a Justin Bieber, a Kanye, or a Billie Eilish, you can't walk. You have to be.
Well, that's
security
also
team.
let's not front though. That's also because the demographic of fan
Yeah, it's
age
different.
is very different. If you're an adult and you respect Leonardo DiCaprio, you know as a grown ass man that you should just run up to him and like be like, "Hey, Leo!" Like,
Yeah.
and if you're like Billie Eilish and Justin Bieber, it's like a whole bunch of little girls that like don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a definitely different fan base type of situation, but they still go through their stuff too. Like personally, I would choose actor too. Just to be in that world of movies and film and working with great directors or having a good movie to like back on and stuff like that. I would just enjoy that world in life. But I could see like the music side too. Like I would enjoy if I was like a top artist in music life. But personally, since I am in movies and films, I would personally choose actor side over music.
So for me, obviously, as you can see, I'm a musician. But what I like about it is that everybody here knows, because everybody here helps me out every time I do a video. As an artist, I could stick in my studio for however long I want and create my own narrative. I could create my own love story. I could create my own world. And when I decide it's ready, decide to put it out. So I am the director. If we're shooting a music video, it's like a short film anyways. So I get to experience the world of an actor and filmmaker, because since I'm the artist, I have to act in it. If I'm creative enough to come up with my own storyline, I'm also directing it as well. So I like that aspect of it. Like I get to choose what you get to hear and experience, and then I get to tell you whatever I want to tell you the way I want to tell you. But yeah. So final thoughts. What are we doing?
Actor.
Music.
Actor.
Actor.
Yeah, actor.
I'm disappointed in Cam. I'm not gonna lie.
I knew you were going to be, but
Never seen you act. Always heard you sing.
That's true, but singing is I think easier to come
He
by.
acts like he can sing.
Singing is easier to come by when you're somebody who's still trying to get into it, because you could be like, yeah, show off I'm not gonna like. You could be like, yeah, I can sing, and then but otherwise you're not gonna be like, hey, I can act. Like watch me act real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Wait. Break that down.
Like I think it's easier to know people, growing up.
It's easier
in
to
our
sing
case.
as a hobby than it is to like.
Yeah, but
Yes.
we're just talking about Leo Kanye level. So you're obviously at the top of that.
No, I agree, but you're saying you never seen me act or anything like that. You've only seen me sing. I'm explaining
Right.
why that is, and I just think for personally, I actually would rather. I've always considered both, but I think, and maybe even.
But that's
doing
why
both,
being a
but-
musician would be perfect because you can act in your own music video.
That's true. It's true. But I wouldn't want to just be stuck to that. If somebody offered me a role with like, freaking Martin Scorsese, I'd be like, all right, lit, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
My guy.
You'd
That's
do
my
your
guy.
whole. You'd risk a whole music career off of one film.
Well, I don't think it's as big of a risk as you think, though. I mean, I think if anything, it could help.
Well, I just
my
told you
music
could do
career.
both as a musician, and now you're saying that that you would take a role as a Martin Scorsese cast. So
Mhm.
like you're obviously giving up the music for this right now for this conversation.
Yeah, for this conversation, for the sake of the argument, I would rather go actor. And
Are you good at memorizing lines?
probably not right now. I would have to train myself to do
Well,
it.
yeah,
I would
you'd
have
be
to train
Leo.
myself.
You'd be Leo status, so that doesn't. Even matter.
Yeah, I see myself more probably doing a lot of impromptu, being one of those actors who can do like improvisation. But
Would you guys rather be in the Avengers or in the Justice League?
Avengers. I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm say Avengers.
What
So,
is my role?
It's oh god, that's a tough one, dog.
Yeah, I told you,
But
man.
it's gonna have to be the Justice League, man, because like number one, they're the swoller team for sure.
Not even close.
And they're also like the more effective team, I think. Like with the Avengers, like a lot of the shit they do like goes through Shield, like has like always implications with the government. The Justice League is pretty much above the government. Like they kind of decide what they do, and I don't know, I feel like they're a more effective team.
No, I feel you with that, and I think you have probably the stronger argument, but I'm biased, and I'm gonna go with Avengers because I think they're just cooler.
Are you talking about in the comic book world or shooting wise? Like, what would you rather be on the set of? What would you rather be surrounded by?
No, he means like if you were.
Well,
like,
let him
act-
say it. He asked it.
comic
He was
book
thinking
based,
about
like-
it.
comic book based, like you're a part of that team. in
No
the
fun for
comics
me.
and stuff like that.
I'd rather be around Wolverine, Hugh Jackman than Ben Affleck. for
He's
Batman.
with the X-Men.
He's with X-Men. But yeah, but that's yeah.
I mean, the Justice League is definitely the stronger team. Not even a question about it. But the threats are bigger. That scares me. So I'm asking, am I me?
The threats are bigger, but you're
And
on a
ex-
team more equipped to deal with those threats. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's
Well, then who are you in that team? Yeah, is he him
actually,
or is
that's
he?
important, Chris. Are we superheroes or are we just us?
You're a superhero. or
Am I the
whatever-
janitor
or whatever you want to
in
be?
Shield?
whatever your dream superhero power, that's what you are.
So you don't think Thanos is a threat?
Do you think
He is, but
Darkseid-
Thanos snap half
he's
the
the
world?
biggest threat. Like
Like-
outside of Thanos, like
Darkseid would eat him?
yeah, and Darkseid
snack.
would kick his ass. Yeah,
Yeah, but then there's the X-Men world with the big ass. What's his name? That's the size of a.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Galactus. Yeah,
Is that?
You said, yeah. I
That's
mean,
in there.
Each one has its
Yeah.
like crazy
Uh-huh.
thing, but you said Avengers versus Justice League, so X-Men and all that won't
But-
count.
But that's still in there though. It's
Well,
still
it's
in
not
the.
a versus. It's
What's
a
the-
what would you rather be on?
nah.
It's not Justice League versus Avengers. It's what team would you rather be on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Avengers is like just the core people that we know from like the movies and stuff, versus the core people we know from the Justice League.
Yeah, personally, I would choose Avengers because I like the people better. Like I
See,
just
that's
I'm
actually
biased.
my other reason. Like, I don't like a lot of the Avengers the way I like some members of the Justice League. So like, I'm whatever with like Thor, Iron Man. Like, I love Batman. I love Green Lantern, Aquaman, Flash. Like,
Mhm.
so damn, nah, yeah, it's for sure Justice League. Now that I thought of the team, like, it's definitely them, dog.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I think I'll agree with you. I think I'll go with the Justice League simply because I'd be next to Batman and that's my dog.
Yeah,
So
same.
He won't want to.
If you would have asked like the X-Men, I would have picked the X-Men for sure. Like that wouldn't
Really?
even. Yeah, for me, I would have picked the X-Men for sure. But of those two, it would have been Definitely JLA.
Yeah, it's more opinion based, I think, for the most part. I mean, but he brought up good facts though. Like they're more structured. They're probably a more effective team for sure. I agree with that. But I'm just such a big fanboy of Marvel and the Avengers. Period. I'd rather be standing.
No
next
hate on
to,
that. Yeah.
I'd rather be standing next to Iron Man and Captain America and Spider-Man.
I get
You know,
the
I mean,
appeal
that's
with
just
those guys. I do, but like
Yeah.
of the teams, like there's more characters on the other one that I like. But I
Yeah.
totally get it though.
Yeah, I get it.
I think I was first gonna choose Justice League, but I think I'm gonna switch to Avengers. I just see, like, don't get me wrong, Batman is my favorite character of all time.
I would not want to be around Batman.
Oh, I would, I would want to.
He wouldn't want you around, Jose.
I'm his Robin.
That's a good point.
I'm
I'll get
Batman's
one
Robin.
interaction with him, though.
I mean, I would love to be around him, but you're right. He wouldn't want you around.
Never meet your idol.
But with Avengers, I feel like it's more. I can see it more like a real life situation, like happening. I know they have powers and stuff, but I'm saying like in the world of Justice League type, I feel like that's more fantasy wise. If you get what I mean, like
That's because the directors have done a great fucking job on the Avengers side.
Well, I
to
don't
make
mean
it-
like that. I mean because like with Justice League and DC is mostly their cities is not like New York. It's like it's like that
yeah.
based.
Yeah, like Gotham and
yeah.
Central
The
City.
Avengers
It's like,
are more grounded
Yeah,
in like
so-
reality.
Like
Yeah, I got
real
you.
life
humanized.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's how they go with him. So I can see it
Yeah,
more like
I get
if
that,
I
I
was
get
on
that.
their team and stuff like that.
That's a good point.
yeah.
I didn't think of that.
With the Avengers, you still get to live in this world for the most part.
Yeah.
The world that we know. But
I'm taking the Avengers because I don't like Justice League at all. I do recognize that they're probably the more powerful. They are the more powerful team. But if we're going based off comic books too, both people get the job done regardless. So
Yeah.
is it gonna take longer in the Avengers? Sure, but we're gonna win anyway. So it don't even matter at that point. Might as well love who I'm fighting with.
Now you don't like anybody in the Justice League? You got Flash.
Well, I don't like the movies.
Okay.
Not that I don't like the
Mhm.
characters, but I'm also not like
a huge yeah.
Batman or Superman fan. Like, but that's more biased because I grew up more on like you said, Iron Man was more
Marvel, yeah.
appealing and shit like that. Yeah, yeah.
I will go with Justice League.
Justice League.
Justice
I'm
League.
gonna go with Avengers.
Avengers.
Avengers 3
Hey,
Again.
That concludes our episode of Would You Rather. This was episode number 4. In the comments, you tell us Avengers versus Justice League. Which one would you rather be in? Would you rather be a musician or an artist? Well, the pause button or the rewind button.
Rewind.
Which power would you rather have? Tell us why, so we can maybe you could change or sway our opinions, and then we help you sway your opinions about what you initially thought you chose. Tune in next time to the next episode of Would You Rather. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Cam for being on this episode with us again. Special
it's been a
guest,
pleasure.
sir. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Peace.